What is up, everybody? Today is Tuesday, July 27th, 2021, and it is time for the Monster Maverick Show. And man, it has been, it's been 2 weeks since the last show because last week I was stuck at a bank trying to talk to a bank manager saying, hey, where's my money? But, so it's been quite an eventful 2 weeks. So this is Monster Maverick. So far, we've all got our regulars here in the Discord chat. But for those of you who are going to be joining later or watching a replay or listening to a podcast, this is the Monster Maverick Show, all about Splinterlands, mostly from the investment finance kind of angle, because that's what I do. I'm OG whale here in Splinterlands, and yeah, it's been an eventful couple of weeks. Abigail Honey is saying she got her nephew into Splinterlands last month and here in 6 cents in SPS tokens today. So today is the very first day of the SPS airdrop for people who own Splinterlands assets. So SPS, if you don't know, is the governance token that is going to be used in Splinterlands for a multitude of different things. We're going to be able to stake SPS on players to earn battle rewards. We're going to be able to apparently get qualified for pre-sales and things. We are going to get pool LP rewards, Oracle rewards, all kinds of things. It's going to be going on with SPS in the Splinterlands ecosystem. But because it's such a massive change, I think that it's probably worth just taking a couple minutes and talking about what Splinterlands is. So if you are a new person who's totally new to Splinterlands, just heard about this SPS thing, saw it on CoinMarketCap or saw the Gate.io exchange listing or something, Splinterlands fundamentally is a card battling game. So you have cards, you match up with an opponent, you select your team based on the rules available in the leagues that you're in and all that kind of stuff, and you battle. And whoever wins gets rewards. And right now, the rewards come in the form of DEC, which is the in-game currency. They come in the form of potions, which, if you want to buy more cards, buy more packs, when you open those packs, the potions help you get better cards. And they come in, additional rewards come in the form of I was going to say packs, but that's not true anymore. They come in rewards cards. So there's a special edition of cards that are just sent out as rewards for battles, and you get daily quest rewards and you get season rewards. And every season there's two of them a month, so about every 2 weeks, 15 days, something like that. And that's kind of where we are right now. So in the future, SPS is going to be used for governance as far as allocating things because you can play ranked battles, you can play tournaments, you can play guild brawls, which is a whole other category of thing that is evolving rapidly at this point. In the next 6 months ish, we are getting our lands expansion, so it's a whole new addition to the game where uh, different players are going to own different plots of land. On those lands are going to be different kinds of resources, and we are going to be able to, um, harvest those resources in some form or fashion, use those resources to create items and spells that will then be used in battles. And the great thing about Splinterlands is that these are all NFT based, meaning that, if I have a card, that means I have it, as opposed to other games where you are just, there's like a card in your account maybe, but you don't actually own that card. You just own a password going into an account, I guess. And if you break terms of service or whatever, they could just take those away from you, which we've seen in Hearthstone and other things that are somewhat similar games, but the underlying technology is totally different. So with Splinterlands, you own your assets, and then you can do what you want with them as far as ownership allows you to do with anything. So you can buy them, you can sell them. There's a whole rental system that has evolved, and I think it will continue to evolve over time. You can come up with arrangements for sharing accounts. Like, okay, so I've got a couple arrangements with some players. I say, okay, I have these cards. You're a better player than I am, and you have more time. So how about I delegate the cards to this account. I give you the key. You play them, and then we'll split the earnings. It's a very common thing in the Splinterlands world. Works great, because the player gets to make income that wouldn't otherwise have, and the owner gets to have those assets, working away in the Splinterlands ecosystem on their behalf. And so, win-win for everybody. So that's kind of like the 2 minute overview of what Splinterlands is, but there's a whole deep dive you can go into in any one of those topics to get into the nuances of everything. But I just thought it'd be good to cover that for a second while we have this huge growth that we have with the attention that's brought in by the SPS token. So I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about first? Because it's just about SPS, the launch, how it all went, its effect on the user growth that we've seen just in the last 2 days. We got stuff. There's some. Is Jarvie here? Jarvie is here. Okay, so this goes to Jarvie or T-Hawks, either one. So Jarvie is one of the guys who runs peakmonsters.com. T-Hawks runs splintercards.com. Both of them are great sites. Splinter Cards is, I think, purely informational, just telling you about trends and things in the Splinterlands world. And Peak Monsters, you can buy cards on. It's a marketplace, but it also has a lot of information um, available to it. So what I want to see now, that SPS has dramatically changed everything, is I want to see total Splinterlands ecosystem value. And what I mean by that is, okay, there's all the cards. There's a market value for all the cards. There's all the DEC in the ecosystem that has a market value. There's all of the various packs that are unopened and available on different marketplaces. So there's alpha packs, there's beta packs, there's untamed packs, there's orb packs, there's dice packs, and coming here in a couple months, we're gonna get Chaos Legion, and now we have SPS. And there's SPT. SPT is another thing. So basically, anything that has value in the Splinterlands world, I want to see like a screen that captures all of that all at one time. So it's a that's just a graphic I would like to have, and I want to see that number go up and up on a chart over the course of time. Um, so if one or both of you guys, could make that happen, that'd be great. uh, let's see. How do you handle the portion of the 200 million SPS that is sitting in Splinterlands team or contract wallets? Yeah, that's included. Everything that has value, and some of it might be owned by the team, some of it might be owned by partners, some of it might be owned by individual players. Just everything. Total market cap of all things Splinterlands is really what I want to see. And the reason I want to see that is because I want to be able to compare the assets inside Splinterlands to other games. So there's Axie Infinity. There's Gods Unchained. There's I just got into another game called Crypto Blades. Calling it a game is, I think, generous, but it's more like a click farm. It's a very interesting approach, gamified yield farming, really. Um, you know, but most is in the contract wallet that is distributed each day, like the Pancake Swap SPS, where they have 22 million. Yeah, I mean, fully diluted value is FDV is the term, where he's like, okay, just everything, and then if you want to subsection that out, it's like this much is locked up in this wallet or whatever. That's fine. But yeah, the total market cap is what I want to see. Um, yeah, so that's my request, I guess. um, so yeah, so let's I guess dive into the the SPS token, right? So if you guys aren't already, there is these links: the MSP Waves, Vim, Theta, and you can watch the overlay on that, and you can see my charts and everything. But I will in the chat as well. So here is the 15-minute chart of SPS on PancakeSwap. Um, And is it on CoinGecko? I don't know if it's on CoinGecko. I know it's on CoinMarketCap. Let's find out. CoinGecko.com. Let's say Splinter. Oh, they're calling Splinter Lands. Okay. Yeah, it is on CoinGecko. That works. And they are pulling data from where? They're pulling from PancakeSwap, and that's it. So they don't have the Gate.io. Um, they don't have the Gate.io listing. I was looking on somewhere. I think it was CoinMarketCap. Well, they did have the Gate.io listing because all these index aggregators they take all the markets and they come up with like a weighted pricing kind of methodology. Right now, they are just listing PancakeSwap, so that's a good start. Um, but yeah, so we have the chart, and so launch was, you know, not great, honestly. Binance Smart Chain was under heavy congestion, and the cyber bots came in, and so the price opened at what, 4 cents, something like that, 4.3 cents, and within seconds, was way higher. If we zoom in here, let's go back to the 1 minute chart, go all the way back. Keep going. Oh, it won't even let me go all the way back there because it's too much data. Oh, there we go. So this is the very first minutes of trading here. You can see that those green candles are just pumping up. And I was trying to buy at the time, and I wasn't able to, which was annoying. So you know, I got in at 37 cents, something like that, which is pretty close to actually the current market price. And, was up for a bit, for a couple minutes, and then was down for most of the day. So, I definitely was overly eager. I should have realized that the bots were going to beat me. And, in order to not overpay on a launch, a lot of times you'll see this pattern where you'll see a big run up. The bots will compete against themselves. Maybe some retail money will come in. There's a big dump, and then that's the time to buy. So we saw it go from a high of 66 cents or so, and then come all the way down. I think the eventual low was about 19. Oh no, it was lower than that. It's about 12 cents, and then it's been kind of chugging along ever since then. So I definitely got overeager and paid the price, literally. But finally, I guess it was this morning, got back into positive territory. I sold out my initial investment and kept the profits, as SPS. So now I'm sitting on. I think from there I profited like 40,000 SPS, something like that. And then today at noon to 1 ish, we got the actual airdrop. And I have two primary accounts that I use, and between the two, I can copy the is over here. Between the two, I got it right around 12,000, 12,000 SPS, which is not too shabby. so I made a tweet about it. So at 39 cents, let's see what we got here. We got 7.99. Those values were when I took the picture, which was earlier. But that's 12,007 SPS times 0.3887 is $4,600 for day one. Earnings. So that is real play to earn. But I realized Agro has said for years that there's really only two complaints in crypto, and one is that so and so is a jackass, but the other is that I want to do less and make more. So Uniq said I can't quit my job. He needs me to do his taxes. Yeah, so maybe we'll see. I'm actually seriously considering like not taking on any more new clients, but I don't know. We'll see. Um, so, so so the main complaint with crypto, that according to Agro, and over the years I've seen that he's right, is that people's complaint is that they want to do less and make more, and so now, um, SPS makes that literally possible because the SPS is only based on your ownership of Splinterland's assets. You can go to the um, Splinter Cards airdrop tool, which he has been updating now that we have a market price, because we were just guessing before based on the private sale price. But now you can actually enter, um, a value that you want to calculate at, and you can enter, your collection power or tokens or liquidity pool position or the packs or the skins or whatever it is that you have, and it'll spit out a number. So if you just have a million collection power, which has a million airdrop points, then it'll tell you how much that's worth, right? Which is fantastic. So, over the next 12 months, if you have a million points at today's market value, then that's worth $26,000. Is that right? Oh my God. Okay. Let's see. So circulating airdrop points is 5.9 billion. So you get 0.0168% of that. Total SPS dropped every day is 1.095 million. So 0.0168% of that million is 185. So over the course of the next year, you should get 67,000 SPS. And 67,000 SPS is worth $26,000 at current market prices, which is an absolutely insane number. So now you can do one thing, which is own Splinterlands related assets of whatever type you want: DEC, cards, packs, SPT. What else is on the calculator? Oh, lands. You could even just buy an account that has champion points. There's plenty of accounts out there that have champion points from way back in the day that'll be earning SPS airdrops. In fact, I bet there's a lot of accounts of people that were running bots in the early days that have tons of champion points and are gone from the game, and those SPS will just be in limbo, unclaimed, forever. It might be interesting to see to run some scripts to find out which accounts have champion points, but then don't have not issued the claim to grab any SPS. So anyway, you can do the thing one time, then do nothing, and then get paid more with SPS. So that is I think that is the solution to Ag's single complaint that is in crypto. That's all you got to do is just buy something, make money. Um, and a lot of people have been talking about DEC values in light of this. So if you had a million DEC, so par value of that DEC is $1,000. So if you're going to buy assets from the Splinterlands game, packs or potions or dice, skins, those are all valued at 1,000 DEC makes one US dollar of trade value. It's one of the feedback mechanisms to keep DEC around that $1 value. But if you buy a million of them, which normally would cost $1,000, you're getting a $26,000 airdrop over the next year. That's Steve are saying 4x in the market right now. Yeah, that's right. Because if you go to the Peak Monsters market, currently the price feed is 46,685. So 1,000 DEC is worth $4.67. In terms of the market. So, would you spend $4,600 in order to potentially make 26,000? I think most people would make that trade. But it's an uncertain return, and so like Steve was saying, the payout is only for 1 year. Exactly, that is true. This is a 12-month airdrop, and so will the value of SPS maintain that level? Probably. I mean, well, no, it won't. Whether it'll go up or down will depend on how many people come into the Splinterlands world over that amount of time. But it definitely won't stay the same. I'll tell you that. That I'm willing to guarantee because it changes on a second by second basis. So So even at $4,600, is it worth buying that, sitting on it, and then making however much per day, uh, $72 a day, and at the end of it, you still have the DEC. So maybe DEC drops. It goes from 4,600, 4,600 splintoshis down to 800 splintoshis. So you lose, you know, 70%, 80%. Maybe that happens. Um, is it still worth that? That doesn't necessarily mean that the SPS value will drop along with it. So it's obviously everybody has to make their own decisions as to how they allocate their funds. But that's an attractive trade right there. So you buy the $4,600 of DEC, you start making 185 SPS a day, and then you at the end of it you have SPS and you still have DEC. It's not like you spent the DEC. That's the whole thing. Still have the DEC, and then maybe you trade it and maybe you sell it. And Ag is asking, does LPs for DEC protect against that? Um, Sort of. So in if you have like Jarvis said, if you have DEC, BUSD, or any pool and DEC drops, you have way more DEC for the SPS airdrops. That is true. So for those of you who don't know, the way the LPs work, LP is liquidity pool. So there are these trading pairs that are on PancakeSwap, Cub DeFi, Uniswap, and I think that's it right now. There may be more in the future. So on just take the DEC BUSD pool. So you take, let's say you have the million DEC that you start off with. So you have $4,600 worth of DEC. You can pool with a $4,600 of BUSD, which is the Binance Smart Chain stablecoin. Oh, Tribal Dex, right? I'm not 100% sure if Tribal Dex works the way all other LPs work, to be honest. So I'm going to talk about not Tribal Dex. So you have DEC, you have BUSD. You put them into a pool, and it's what's called an automated market maker, AMM. So what you are doing by placing those funds into the pool is you are providing liquidity, providing trading ability to anybody who wants to make those swaps. So if somebody wants to trade BUSD for DEC, they are trading you the BUSD and you are giving them the DEC. If someone comes in with DEC and they want to buy BUSD with that, they are trading you the DEC and you are trading them the BUSD. So what happens is that your position in the pool is structured such that the value of BUSD you have in the pool and the value of DEC you have in the pool are always equal. Okay? But BUSD stays around $1, but DEC changes. Okay? So if the price of one DEC goes down, that means you need more of them in order to balance out a number of BUSD. So whenever you're in an LP, whenever you're in a liquidity pool, whichever side is dropping in value, you are buying. Okay? So if you go into the pool at 4,600 and DEC drops to 1,000, that means that you are buying DEC on the way down. So now you have more DEC, now you have more airdrop points. Will it exactly counteract the decline in value with the additional points and additional SPS? No, it won't. But it'll be somewhat close because the way the LPs work is on a square root relationship, and the way price works is on a linear relationship. So there's a difference in the rate of change of those things, but it will cover you somewhat. And you can go into a whole thing of what is called in the industry liquidity or impermanent loss. Sorry. Which is describing that change in value of the tokens inside the LP relative to one another. That's a bit beyond what I want to get into right now, but just understand that whatever LP you're in, whichever side is going down relative to the other is the one you are buying, and whichever one is going up relative to the other, you are selling. So if one goes up, you're going to have less of that at the end of time 1 than you had at time 0. If one goes down, you're going to have more of that at time 1 than you had at time 0. So it's all about those relative changes. Uh, so yeah, I mean that could be an attractive play to if you want to take that $4,600, you could even pool what's called asymmetrically, and say, okay, I have the million DEC. I'm going to sell half, so now I have 500,000, and I'm going to sell it for BUSD, and then I'm going to pool both of those. And the way the DEC or the airdrop points are calculated is that it takes your DEC portion of the liquidity pool and gives you 2 points for that instead of just 1 point of holding DEC. So they've already accounted for the fact that there are different numbers in there. So that might be an attractive strategy to go to harvest SPS or more SPS. So for me personally, I so well a couple way back when 3 weeks ago when DEC started climbing above its par value, it got up to like 1,200 splintoshis. And I was like, oh, that's above par. I'm going to sell some. So I sold a bunch, knocked the price down like 5%, and still have the BUSD. But turns out I should have held that one because it went up way more than I had expected. But for me, I'm in the Ethereum DEC pool. I'm getting points for that. I also have a bunch of DEC just on hand. And the great thing about the Ethereum pool is, well, the not great thing is the gas fees of paying for Ethereum, but the great thing is that you also get um, DEC rewards as part of as being a liquidity provider in the Ethereum pool. So I'm getting a little bit extra juice that way. Um, so it's DEC is designed um, as an algo stable-ish coin. And Steve R is laughing, stable-ish. And there are several mechanisms that govern the price of DEC, or that are not govern, but that influence the price. So there's several feedback loops. So one is that anything you buy in game is recognized at 1,000 splintoshis, so 1,000 DEC to one US dollar. So packs are $2. Packs are always $2. And so if you want to buy packs with DEC, it's going to cost 2,000 DEC. And then the cards inside of those packs have a burn value. So every pack has 5 cards, and I know everybody here in the audience knows this, but for the newbies who are listening in the future, so every pack has 5 cards, and those cards could be common, they could be rare, they could be epic, they could be legendary, and any one of those could be gold foil, which normally has a 2% chance of any card being gold foil. So gold foils are shinier versions. They don't have any extra abilities or anything, but they're much rarer. They're 50 times rarer, and some tournaments will only allow for gold foil cards and those kinds of things. So every one of those cards, those 8 different types, 4 different rarities and regular foil or gold foil, and each of those has a burn value depending on which edition it is. So Alpha has the highest burn values, Beta has the next highest, Untamed has the lowest DEC burn value, and you can actually destroy your NFT. You can destroy your card in order to release the DEC that is bound inside of that. And if market prices are such that that's attractive, you can burn those. You can burn those cards. You can harvest the DEC out of them, and then you can sell the DEC. So that's a feedback mechanism on the price to bring the price of DEC down. On the other hand, when DEC is low, low in market price, we've seen it as low as 500 splintoshis, so 50 cents on the dollar basically. When DEC is low, you can buy DEC on the market and then buy packs from Splinterlands at that dollar value. So you can basically double up on your DEC money. The problem right now is that we have all this demand coming in with SPS, and we're sold out of packs. So Untamed sold out, I don't know, a month ago. And the next edition, Chaos Legion, is scheduled, or scheduled, I'll put in quotes, You know, roughly estimated to be available in September-ish. And right now it's the end of July. So you know, it's we have this period of time where the feedback mechanisms on DEC are not working because there's just nothing, or at least not a lot to buy from Splinterlands. You can still buy skins, you can still buy dice. There's about, I don't know, 80,000 dice left. Um, but lands is sold out, packs are sold out. So and those are the primary things. Um, and revised sociology has a question: when do you think the first staking SPS perk will be? Well, staking starts August 2nd, which is a week from now. So I think that'll be the first perks coming in. And the types of perks will evolve over time, I think. But for now, I think it's just staking, get SPS back. Um, so we have this period of time where the rails on the price of DEC are gone, and you know, price is just mooning. So we're at, 4,600. It's 4.5 times over the par value, which is far and away the highest we've ever seen it. Um, oh, you're talking about the mentions of offers only for SPS stakers. Well, we know one of them already. So what revised sociology is talking about is that Yaba has said in the official AMAs that there are going to be, perks. There are going to be benefits to staking SPS that aren't available to people who don't have SPS. And we know that one of the first ones is going to be that we will be able to participate in the Chaos Legion presale. So in the past, there was a Kickstarter on, for the Alpha edition. There was a Kickstarter for the Beta edition. Um, there was also another one for the Beta edition, which was on a different platform. But then there was another for Untamed, and the team has said at this point that the Kickstarters are not really needed anymore. So there's not going to be one for the next edition of Chaos Legion, but there will be a presale. And in order to participate in the presale, you are going to have SPS staked. And on top of that, I clarified this with Yeba in the Discord chat that the amount you will be able to buy of the presale will vary depending on how much SPS you have staked. So if you have a lot staked, you'll be able to buy more. If you have a little staked, you'll be able to buy less. So if you want to hit the ground running with Chaos Legion, which I'm certainly going to, then it's worth it to build up your SPS position and stake it. So I know that's at least one of the first perks will be, and I think they said August, end of August for the presale, something like that. I don't know exactly off the top of my head when that was going to be. And then Steve are saying, yeah, also to get into that first airdrop. Yeah. I mean, they haven't announced any real definitive stuff about any definitive stuff about Chaos Legion and whether there's going to be airdrops. So during Untamed, there was 1,500 packs, or no, sorry, 1.5 million packs, and every 100,000 packs that were sold, we got an additional airdrop card, from the people who had bought prior. So if you bought in the first 100,000 Untamed packs, which I got into as part of the Untamed Kickstarter, then you get airdrop number 1 and all the ones afterwards. If you got in on the 400,000th pack, then you got airdrop number 4 and then all the ones after. But you missed out on the airdrops for the earlier ones. So revised sociology said doesn't think I'll have any problems hitting that top tier. Probably not. I got a bunch. So right now I'm sitting on about 1,000 SPS, and for those. I know everybody in the Discord chat knows this, but when I say I'm an OG when it comes to Splinterlands, what I mean is, aside from Agrod, so Agrod is one of the founders, and he has taken all the money he's made from Splinterlands and then bought more Splinterlands with it. So he has a bigger collection than me. But as far as non-actual Splinterlands employees, I have the largest single collection, and the price of it has just been absolutely ridiculous over the last several weeks. I think over the last month, it's gone up like 2.5 times, 3 times, something like that. And now I'm up to 567,000 apparently. So I don't know. Uh, and and that comes along with it 36 million airdrop points, which is more than half of all the airdrop points that I have. Um, but I've got this, and then I've got two regions, and then I've got miscellaneous other stuff, skins and DEC and whatever. So I'm cruising at about 60 million airdrop points a day. Yeah, RIP those other guys who were big whales before and then sold out. So if you listen to archives of this show, there was a time when I was saying that these big whales were selling because they were done with Splinterlands. They got all pissed about something or another, and they were just dumping their cars on the market. And I was on this show recorded saying this is the time to be buying, and I hope everybody took advantage of that. Because now you can see how valuable the cards are, not only just as cards and their earning potential for DEC, but now we have SPS being awarded on top of that. So it's just stacking the same assets in multiple ways. It's it's perfect. And Revised Sociology is saying he thanks them. The rage sell-off was great. Timed perfectly with a Steam pump and dump. Yeah, there was a lot going on during that time period when there was a chain split from Steam that now became Hive as a whole thing. But none of that matters anymore. What matters now is that we have finally a a game that works. So a lot of blockchain games fundamentally don't work, and the reason is because they are on chains that have transaction fees and that bog down under load. So this new game that I got into recently, Crypto Blades. So it runs on Binance Smart Chain, and every operation is on chain, and that means that when Binance Smart Chain bogs down, largely due to Crypto Blades, um, then you know you just can't play the game. So it's a real problem. But by building on Hive, Splinterlands works much better. Hive has much higher throughput than other um, blockchains. Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, Wax, EOS. Whatever blockchain you want to look at, they all have a transaction fee problem where Hive doesn't. So the great thing is that the game works. All transactions are posted on blockchain, so you can see how many. In fact, the new Peak Monsters dashboard has a transaction history here, which is kind of amazing. So we're up to 2 million transactions a day. Today. Um, so there's no other system that could handle that, at least that I know of. Maybe there's some obscure thing out there, but that's part of the problem is that Hive technically works fantastic and supports the game, and it's a great infrastructure to build on, but the investor crowd and the gamer crowd is not there. So I'm one of the lucky few who was on Steam way back in 2018, and saw people posting about, oh, we're going to launch this new thing and we're going to call it Steam Monsters, and later on they changed the name to Splinterlands. And it's going to be this card game, and we don't have a game yet, and but you can buy cards, and so I did because it seemed fun, and it was. People were trading on Discord back and forth. There was no marketplace, there was no game, there was no nothing. All you could do is you could buy packs and you could open them and you could see the cards. That was it. So, uh, it's Splinterlands was able to raise some amount of money from those initial sales from that initial crowd that was on Steam back in those days, but the Axie Infinity crowd and the Crypto Blades crowd and the Gods and Chain crowd, those guys aren't on Steam. They aren't on Hive. They are on Ethereum and other EVMs basically. They and so by launching SPS on Binance Smart Chain, it exposes Splinterlands to a huge new crowd, both in terms of like number of people and in terms of investment dollars. So So Revise says, still remember Aggie saying in a show somewhere, I want to make a game. Uh, so SPS is as much marketing for Splinterlands as it is, governance token, as far as I'm concerned, and we can see that perfectly well in the new players graph that Yasik posted. But, here's one going back, 30 days. So the blue line is total signups, which includes the free signups, and the red line is the people who have converted and actually paid the $10 for a spell book. So you can see, that 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 spell book line is going up rapidly. Um, and I think Ag said something like 5% like today was like the paid user growth. Like, so we went 3 years, and then in one day we added 5% to the total. So that's just absolutely insane kind of levels of growth, and it's just fantastic. It's basically everything's hitting on all cylinders now that we have a functional game product that works on a free chain and people don't have to worry about gas fees or anything. And like Ag says here, Steam Monsters provides RCs via HP. That's a little bit of code, but basically, so the way Hive works is that in order to transact, your account has to have Hive power, and that enables it uh, to broadcast transactions on the blockchain. Um, and then, but for people who sign up through Splinterlands, you don't want to do a whole thing where you have to then go and buy Hive or whatever. So the game will actually delegate you, I don't know what the number is, 15 or 30 Hive power on your behalf just for signing up, just so you can play the game. So you as the user don't have to worry about any of it. It's all taken care of you on the back end. Um, so for the user experience, it's a totally free system in order to play a game, and it works. And you have the NFTs, and you can take those NFTs and you can port them over to Wax, or you can take them over to Ethereum. I know you can move DEC to Tron. I'm not sure if you can move cards to Tron. I don't know, but you can access these external marketplaces and gain exposure to those other platforms of buyers, gamers, and investors. So it's just it's the best of both worlds as far as I'm concerned. So we now have the exposure to the mainstream. I mean, mainstream is in quotes, I guess. Mainstream crypto and gaming audiences on Binance Smart Chain, and we have the operations on Hive that work. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's really the way it is. Um, so yeah, I mean, you can dive into, people in the chat are getting a little bit technical here, which might be a bit beyond. But Steve R saying his YouTube videos are blowing up. Splinterland stuff used to do bad, but not anymore. That is interesting. So I have not checked my YouTube videos at all. I have a lot. Um, let's dive in. Everybody can see my channel stuff, which is I've got a few subscribers, not a whole lot. VC Dragon saying we need Binance and KuCoin. I agree; those would be fantastic. Um, but let's see. Let's check my filter by. No, I want to do all Monster Maverick maybe. No, that's not. I want to see. Let's just look at analytics. Overview, watching time. Not a whole lot of difference. So I'm not seeing the growth, but my channel is kind of just random stuff as well as Splinterland, so I'm not focused like that. There's even a YouTube area now with just Splinterland's video. That is news to me. Let's go to YouTube, see if I have. Steve R, do you have a link for that? Splinterlands. What's going on there? Let's see. Well, how to make money playing Splinterlands in 2021. That is a good title. Zen Tech. You got 16,000 views. We got Part-Time Economist posted this 3 hours ago. Got 167 views, and that's small numbers, but growing. Which let's see if we can upload this week. filter there. Got 4,000 views on Play to Earn World. We got 400 views on Bulldog 1205. This is the search by the by. Let's check out Steve R's channel here. Auto-generated by YouTube, Splinterlands. This channel was generated automatically by YouTube's video discovery system. Amazing. We got people doing streaming. We got people, recording videos, play to earn kind of stuff. Splinterlands AMA, all good stuff. Biz is a fan of Bulldog 1205. That's great. I generally don't watch gaming content on YouTube. I'm usually listening to either comedian podcasts or permaculture building type people. But you can now tag videos with the game tag. That is cool. So I'll have to do a little bit. I'm like 2 months behind on uploading these episodes to YouTube, so we'll see. We'll see if I get this one up in a timely fashion. The whole editing thing is a thing. I might just go back to uploading raw video and just letting it go, whatever it is. Ag wants to know what SPS is at. He's on his phone. Well, you should get a crypto app. It's listed now, but it's at $39.91, so just under 40 cents. So before I run out of time, because we are coming up towards the end of the hour, and I haven't even covered like half of what I wanted to. I did want to talk about this number right here, which is the market cap. So I was having this discussion with some of my DGen friends, and they were saying, well, Axie Infinity has a market cap of like 1.5 billion, and it has such and such users, and I think it's like 500,000 users. It's a lot, whatever it is. And then based on that, based on daily active users, then it's worth a market cap of X. If we apply those same metrics to Splinterlands, then the Splinterlands is worth Y. And this person I was discussing with this came up with a number of like 100 to 150 million in terms of market cap. I was like, well, I'm not sure that really applies. At least not as cut and dried as that was presented. And the reason being is that I took quick math. I said, okay, we have card values of like 46 million or something like that, and then DEC values and land values. So I just did a quick math in my head. I said, okay, we've got $80 million worth of Splinterlands assets, and we have 10,000 daily active users. So if you do one divided by the other, that comes out to $8,000 per user in terms of asset value inside the Splinterlands ecosystem. Now, I don't know what it is in Axie Infinity, but I'm pretty sure it's lower. So, I think the value per player is much higher in Splinterlands than it is in Axie Infinity. So that's item number one. Item number two is user growth, right? We have 10,000 daily active users, a week ago, but as you've seen on the chart, the user growth rate of paid players is increasing quickly. 5% today, and 5% yesterday. So or 4%, whatever it was. So we're over the 2 days, we're up something like 10% in terms of people who have purchased spell books and I can actually participate in the play to earn system. And now there's an argument going on in chat of our game is way better. VC Dragon says Axie is a great game. In terms of strategy and fun, Splinterlands crushes it. And it's way easier to get into Splinterlands. $10 to get a good Axie team, isn't it a lot? And apparently you can't rent Axie, and Neogen is saying Axie is too centralized. I said I've never played Axie. I bought some AXS on last week just because it seemed I had some extra money in an exchange account, and I was like, well, I'll buy some. And I bought it at like $24, $25, something like that. It had come down because the game servers had crashed for like a week, and then it was on its way back up, so I bought some there. And I don't know what it's at now, but higher, I think. So So I don't know how the game compares to Splinterlands, but I do know that average user value is going to be much much higher in Splinterlands. Uh, Biz wants me to specially mention how Biz mentions how ugly axes are, especially compared to cute kitties. Yes, because Byzantinist is crazy for all things cat, and you can see. Uh, so one of the fun things about the Kickstarters is that you get special perks if you're in one of the higher tiers, um, and one of them um, in the Untamed Kickstarter was you got if you were one of the top six um, contributors to this Kickstarter, you got to submit uh, design contributions to summoners, which is one of the special types of cards. And we got the Byzantine Kitty from Byzantinist, which is a great summoner. It has very good attributes and everything. But the artwork is just too cutesy for me. But Biz loves it, so is what it is. I guess having a wider variety of art styles is attractive to people. I understand that, but still, it's just too cutesy for me. But you know, so Steve, I still think we need to make Neil's card way better in one of the first votes. Yeah. So I was one of those levels of contributors. I designed this guy, Steve Swimmer. Uh, Computer's going a little bit nuts here. So Lear, his backstory was great. I really enjoyed doing that. He's a water splinter summoner, and he was drowning, and he was just kind of a middle of the road kind of guy. But then he was out on the ocean, knocked overboard by a storm. He's down underwater. He taps into his inner magical strength and calls out to the creatures of the waters, and they come and rescue him. And as a result, he becomes like the strongest water summoner. And so that was the lore behind it. In actual gameplay, his stats have not really worked out great. In that he's of that tier of the legendary untamed summoners, he's probably like fifth or sixth in terms of meta desirability in gameplay. So I would love an SPS proposal to buff him a little bit or change his stats or something to make him more useful in game. And once we have the governance system functional, which will probably be in a couple months, then we can make those changes. And people who have SPS staked, and that will allow them to vote in the governance, and they can propose. They can make SPS proposals, which then the total SPS holders or stakers will be able to vote on whether those things will be adopted or not. And one of the simplest things to be done is that you'll be able to change stats on change stats on cards. And Ag is going to propose nerfs for Lear, and no, I will veto any strong nerfs for Lear. So it brings into view all of the nuances that goes on with staking SPS, because the more stake you have, the more your vote counts, right? So it's it's a it's worth it. It's worth your while to increase your vote if you're in that whale level category. So if I have, so I'm right now with my SPS airdrop points, I'm getting about 1% of the daily airdrop. So over the next year, I should get roughly 4 million SPS, and that will have a decent amount of weight. If I stake it, so that could enable me to kind of sway things a little bit the way I want them to go. So it's it's a whole other game theory level of decisions to make about what you're going to be doing with SPS. Now, if you listen to my last show, which was 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how big SPS plus lands is going to be, and I guess I would just want to end on this note a little bit. You know, SPS is great. We're seeing just in the first 2 days of that it's been trading, really not even 2 days, like 30 hours. Um, we're seeing the influx of people and exposure that Splinterlands is having. And then once we have lands functioning in tandem with that, then I think we're just going to explode exponentially. Because card games are one thing. It's kind of, I mean, it's a big niche, but it's a niche within gaming. Having lands is much more universal, at least in my opinion. So having both the exposure of SPS and all the perks that go along with staking and earning and everything, and then having lands working together, I think we'll have like a squared kind of relationship. So it's not going to be 2 plus 2 equals 4. It's going to be like 4 times 4 equals 16 kind of thing. And the name of the game with all things crypto related is user growth, right? User growth drives value and price. So if SPS is at 40 cents right now, after the first day of trading, then you know in 6 months when we see those additional game modes come out and the additional level of attractiveness coming in, I think things are just going to explode. And I think the guy, the DJ I was arguing with, it was kind of funny to have an argument about fundamental value analysis with another DGen. But I think his analysis saying, well, 100 million is kind of the top, is well lacking that future vision. So, obviously, no financial advice, no price predictions, or guarantees or anything. But I have a bunch of SPS and I'm sitting on it. So I guess that's what I'm doing with mine. I may sell some from time to time. Got to pay the bills and all that. But by and large, I think the current plan is to be holding and staking in some form or fashion. Now, staking is going live August 2nd, which is next week. And I'm not sure which versions of staking will be available at the get-go, because we're going to have staking, just plain old staking rewards. We're going to have LP rewards. We're going to have Oracle rewards. We're just going to be rewards for staking on players. So, we'll see how the development team actually phases those in, because that's the normal plan, is to do things kind of one thing at a time. But that will remain to be seen. But I think it's going to be worth our while to be a little bit patient and let the market work. So that is our show for today, everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming by, and we'll see you next time, same place, same time, and Monster Maverick Show.